Hello, Uncle Roddus. Back again. Oh, that's a bit loud. Hang on. Right, let's try that. You might be able to hear me now. Okay, here's a quick run through of a bunch of new albums arrived, and not much New Zealand stuff this time. We're going to be focused on a bit more other stuff, but we have got some New Zealand stuff, and we'll start with what's playing in the background. Right, hot off the press. This is a brand new release, just come off. I've never heard of this band, have no idea much about them at all, but this is well, it's not the main reason I got it. I mean, a couple of people made comments about this, about buying a record just for the sake of buying a record, because it happens to be the very first record pressed in New Zealand for over 30 years on a commercial type pressing plant. That's not entirely true. I brought it because I did have a listen to the music and I liked the music enough to justify buying the record. But it is the very first record pressed in New Zealand. There have been lathe cuts made in New Zealand. There is a lathe cut, who I've mentioned, a guy called Peter King who does lathe cuts in Geraldine on polycarbonate, which I don't like at all. I find them very, very low quality. A lot of experimental sort of music, very limited releases. It's purely for collecting. If you're serious about music, why would you want to try and listen to such an inferior product? I do have a couple of lathe cuts. I never play them because they don't play very well on my system. They probably play better on this little turntable. Anyway, so this is, as you can hear in the background, if you can hear that, it's it's fairly standard, pop rock music. It's very well crafted, it's very well recorded. But I did put a report up on Facebook group in New Zealand, not about the music but about the actual vinyl, because that's something that a lot of people are very keen to see, that it's good quality. There's a lot of New Zealand bands getting vinyl released in New Zealand and getting it pressed overseas, and some of the quality of the pressings has been pretty bad. Flying Nun put out some fantastic music, but the plant that they use, I've found, is not the best pressing plant around, and there is quite often a lot of noisy clickies and things like that on the records. Excuse me, but this one is beautifully quiet. I heard a couple of quiet clicks, very, very quiet clicks on a quiet part of a song, but the background noise of the record is very, very low. It was beautifully clean and clear looking record, and flat and beautiful. So that's a good start. So we're looking forward to hopefully a lot of New Zealand bands using the service, and that they keep up their quality of their pressings. That's exciting. I mean, and the band itself, I like it, and I think it'll grow on me musically. It's not fantastic, it's not weird, it's not anything out of the ordinary, but it's pretty cool. One that I had feared had been lost in the mail. It took nearly 6 weeks to get here from Germany, which is unusual, but it did finally show up, so that was a sigh of relief. Shallow Grave. This is 4-track LP, extended droney, sludgy, doomy metal type thing. Threshold Between Worlds. This is their first album I have purchased. I believe there is some other stuff I will look up. I don't normally play this sort of music myself very often. I know it's a pretty tough cover to see. There's a skull there on the background. It's pretty hard to make it out, but I really like this. It's very droney, but there's some nice stuff happening. Really, really quite cool. I don't normally go down this sort of dark path very often, but I find a lot of it with the vocals and the growliness of it, and to be honest, a lot of them aren't particularly that good musicians that I hear of recordings, but that one there is really good. And the last of the New Zealand stuff is an unusual for me, a 7-inch Contenders. This is a 4-track EP 7-inch of classic punk. This is really, really good. I heard Teenage Crybaby, the track was what I heard on Chris play on his record, on his Counting the Beat show, and I was so impressed that I went out and grabbed this. I don't like to pay too much for these, but unfortunately, by the time you add $6 postage, it cost me $20, which is why I don't buy 7 inches a lot. But great little EP, really good. Yeah, really sort of very punky, but also with a touch of that post-punkness to it as well. Right, what else have we got here? I mean, I haven't got a lot to show. So I finally picked up the new Raconteurs album, Help Us Stranger. It's been many years since their last one. I have the CDs. I followed Jack White since I discovered his White Stripes back in about their third album, which, God, what's the name of it now? So I have all of the White Stripes on CD. And then I did pick up the Raconteurs records, and I really enjoyed them when they came out. And I've got stuff like, I've got one of the Dead Weather things that he was involved with, and of course I've got his first 2 solo albums. I didn't like his last album. I haven't got a copy of that, never bothered buying it. I wasn't that into it at all, really. So anyway, but I jumped on this. The reports have been pretty good, and yeah, it is really good. I've had a couple of 3 listens so far. Really, very great recording, great Third Man Records, great quality vinyl. I think Jack's dominating this record a little bit more than he did with the other 2 Raconteurs. So Brendan's maybe taking a little bit more of a backseat. Just that, I just get that little bit of feeling like that. But I think that's going to grow on me a lot, that record. I'm really enjoying it. Now, the last 4 I jumped on finally. I was humming and hawing and not quite sure if I could afford it, and then work's picked up enough that I could, and so this Pledge Me music site that went under and took a lot of people's money. John Zorn was involved with that. He had a box set, 11 CD box set that he'd done through Pledge Me, I think it was, for the Book of Bearer, the last of the Masada books. There is 11 CDs. Now, they got caught in this, and I think they lost quite a lot of money on that. Now, I don't know, I'm not 100% sure whether some of the box set they actually got copies of it. I don't really know, but what has been happening is he's been releasing them, the CDs. He's getting them done individually, so I've seen those come up on the Taszik website. But what they did do is trying to recoup some of their losses, is they put out some special edition vinyl releases. Now, Taszik, John Zorn's label, they don't do vinyl very much at all. Mostly it is all CD releases. So what he had done is, in the past he'd done, way back, they call it the vinyl series. So it's a special edition series, limited edition, and at the moment there are 10 pieces of vinyl that have been released since 2007. I think the Dreamers, or 2009, the Dreamers were the very first one. They put out the Dreamers Christmas LP and a single. I have the LP, not the LP, I have the CD of that, but and then that was it for quite a while, and then they did the Song Project, which was a 7-inch box set, I think, from memory, so I didn't bother jumping on that either. By that stage I'd got back into collecting vinyl. I have the CD of that, and it was really good. But there were 4 LPs released just recently, and as part of this recouping of their money they lost through Pledge Me. 3 of the LPs are reissues of CDs, and one, I believe, is a brand new release of music that hasn't been released before. And you can, I'm not sure if there's still copies. I understand they may be only limited to 300 each. They're not as deluxe as I thought they would be. But to be honest, I didn't have to pay too much for them. I could have got them signed, but it would have been double the price. And that would have been put them out of my league. So I actually picked these up for nearly just over a fraction over $50 each, which is what I pay in the shops for New Zealand for imported stuff anyway. So this is this is the one that I believe is brand new music, not been released in any format before. I probably will get. It has been released on a CD as well. Nove Cantici per Francisco de Assisi. I hope I got that right. Um, this is guitar pieces of some pieces that John has written and composed, and this is played by I think Bill Frisell. Let's see if I can find no, there's not a lot of, as I say, these are very basic packages. It's basically just a single record sleeve. There's no inserts, which, I mean, I guess it's because of the budget restraints. I mean, Zadok is a non-profit record label, and they don't have a lot of money to throw around, so the vinyl sounds really nice, really clean and good quality, so that's nice. And the music sounds fantastic actually on vinyl. I'm really, really impressed. I'll get the CDs out at some stage of the other three that I've got and do some comparisons. But this is actually quite gentle music. So people who are not familiar with John Zorn, this could be a good place to have a listen. If you're not into the more wilder stuff, this is pretty tame, really nice music, really does. So there's three guitarists. Oh, here we go. Here are the names. So I can't read. There's always weird kind of fonts on this. It is Bill Frisell, Gian Riley, and Julian Larg are the three guitarists. I'm not sure. I haven't listened close enough yet to it to see whether they are actually playing together or mostly just single on each one. So this is one of the ones that was reissued originally only on CD. The Last Judgment, John Zorn. Now this is Mike Patton, John Medeski organ, Trevor Dunn, and Joey Barron. What do they call this? Is it a Moonchild? Someone said. Yeah, Moonchild. I think this is the very first of the Moonchild series. Really cool. This is really cool. And like I say, it sounded fantastic on vinyl. So I'll get the CD out and just have another listen and see. I've had the CD for ages and I've played it a few times, but I haven't really played it a lot. This one, Rob Berger, piano, Greg Cohen on bass. Greg turns up on a lot of John Zorn's recordings, and Ben Perwaski on drums. So it's a piano-led trio. What's the album called? Alhambra Love Songs. Again, this is one that's been out on CD for quite a few years, originally from 2009. This is jazz. This is a really nice jazz record. I really like this one. It's interesting. Some of the songs are really jazz. Some of them have really got more of a rock bass to them. So there's an electric bass getting played. Greg's on electric bass on several tracks, and the drum beat's more kind of rock orientated, but it's still very jazzy flavoured. And finally, a condensed version of Sanhedrin from Masada, from the very first Masada. So this is the quartet of, where are their names? Come on, boys, give me their names again. There's no inserts or anything. It's Greg Cohen, Joey Barron, and John on saxophone. And who's the I can't remember who's the trumpet player now. Anyway, this came out. I have it as a double CD package. That's a very well packaged with a booklet and a big hardcover and all that stuff. Whereas this is just a basic one sleeve album. But man, this sounds really, really good. There's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tracks all up on here. Masada do stretch out quite a bit on some of these tracks, so they're that's quite long. Almost 20 minutes on one side, not far off it, the same on the other, 18 minutes. Really, really kind of cool to have these. So I do believe they are limited editions of about 300. May still be available if anyone wants to jump onto the Tastic website and see if they can get themselves copies. So pleased to have those. And so that's it. I've got had another bunch of three free records from Flying Out, because I had reached my maximum points, so I could get some free records. So they're on their way, and I've still got some back orders I'm waiting on. There's one that hasn't turned up from Flying Out that seems to have been delayed. but I have heard rumours it's going to be out this week. I'm waiting on, and a few other bits and pieces that are on back order that I'm still waiting on. So, yeah, I will get. And I've got 2 videos in the backlog, one uploading this morning, so you won't see this video for a few weeks. But happy record collecting. We'll see you again next time. Cheers. Bye.